For the first time ever, I'm wiring my home that I've built from the ground up, learning new trades along the way, from framing to plumbing to electrical and so much more. Now, if you've been following along, you might be saying, Biata, why are you wiring anything in your home? None of your other rough-ins are done. For the most part, electrical is one of your last rough-ins to do. I'm not doing all of the electrical this week, but I am getting it started for a few reasons. First of all, we just moved here. Behind me is our trailer, and I need to be able to get water to our trailer, which means hooking up my pump. I have my pump hooked up to my outdoor panel, and every time I need water, I need to basically re-hook up the breaker. It's kind of ghetto and a lot of work, and I don't want any lines running across my driveway because we're getting our snow plowed this winter, and I want to cover all my bases. This is the first thing I have ever wired in my life. I had never done electrical before this, and thanks to friends, I was able to learn a ton. First of all, it's time to get my main panel up. I have to cut some sections in the studs so that wires can come in from the sides because I'm going to have my panel like inset into the wall.
Throughout this vlog, you might notice that some days are sunny and some days there's snow and some days there's no snow, and that's because I actually filmed all of this content in between doing roofing because there were certain days I couldn't get on the roof, like when there was snow.
Time to make the panel on the wall. First, I gotta get an anti-short in here that is going to protect the wires from rubbing against this metal here. I think that's good. There we go. And then comes the clamp. There we go. So this has to clamp onto the actual metal.
Now it's time to hook up the mains, and I don't take this lightly. I've been researching a lot about electrical, and I have a friend who is literally there via text every time I have a question about something that I'm doing. But that being said, I am not a professional, so don't take anything I'm doing here as education because I'm not the one you should be learning from. Also, if you see me doing something that might burn my house down, please let me know. All jokes aside, yes, I have a permit out in my name, and yes, I can do my own electrical as the homeowner of the house, and all of this is going to be inspected.
These wires are so difficult. Almost. I've learned that these pop all the way out so that you can get your wires shoved in more easily. That is much easier. Still hard. The wiring is officially hooked up on this side. Now it's time to hook up my well pump, but first I have something new to show you. Not only am I hooking up my main panel, I'm also hooking up a backup home integration system. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've been working with Biata for a year. They've been sending me battery banks and different systems to try on all my power tools, which has been incredible. But now I'm excited to announce that I have a full-on battery backup system for our home when we have blackouts, power outages, and we need a little bit of power to use for our main appliances. So this is part of the home integration kit. This is basically a transfer switch, and it has everything hooked up for you already, and it's super easy to integrate into your home build. Or if you already have your home built and your panel hooked up, you can very easily hook this up to your wiring. All the wires are gonna go right through here. I love that you don't have to wire any breakers. It's already set up for you, making it super easy. I'm only gonna have time to put in my well pump today, which I really need to do. And so the way this works is that there's meter 1 and meter 2, and this shows me that there's meter 1, meter 2, meter 1, meter 2. So you're gonna try to balance the loads as evenly as possible. And when your power goes out, it's as simple as literally just switching your power to gen, and then it runs off the Biata. Next up, I'm gonna wire the plug for this, which is pretty straightforward as well. And Biata has all the instructions as well in their little booklet. Step number 1 is done, and it's literally as simple as that. Step number 2 is getting all of your wires attached. So the first thing I'm gonna do is hook up my neutral and my ground wire from the transfer switch panel. And now it's time to get my first thing hooked up to my main panel and the transfer switch, my well pump.
Mine and most well pumps require 240 volts to be able to run. And what's great about the two AC300s is when you combine them together in the home integration kit, you get 240 volts to be able to run any appliance in your home, like an oven or a water heater.
I was talking with my inspector and I realized I needed one more thing to make this work for our code. Instead of just having the wires go from the transfer switch to the main panel, I need to do a junction box. This is just required in Canada, so I just had to make that little modification, and now it's time to do one more thing. I'm making this so much more complicated than it needs to be. Since my well pump is a double pole 15 amp breaker, I need to change 2 of these to a 15 amp double pole breaker, and then I need to order another gold bar, or you can actually just switch out the gold bars here if you want. So all you do is loosen the screw, pull out your 2 wires, pull out your breakers, put in your new ones, and do the screws back up. So simple. Step number 3, time to hook this up. The breakers I'm using on the transfer switch are breakers E and F, and the wires are labeled E and F for both the black and the red. So the red is gonna go to my breaker in my main panel.
And then the black wires from the transfer switch are getting threaded together with the power lines from the well pump. And this creates a simple power loop so that the well pump can either be run by our main electrical source or by the Biata battery banks.
The next step is to hook up the 2 120 volt systems together so that creates a 240 volt system to run my breakers off of. And these just plug into the 30 amp plug. Number 2. And this is a twist and lock that just goes right into the transfer switch.
Then you need to put the communication cable in and change a few settings on the Bluettis to make sure that they're running in split phase.
Then you make sure your AC is on. And it's late now, but here is the moment of truth. Everything is off, the power is not connected. I'm going from blind to off to dead. And it's working. This is crazy!
And each unit is pulling just under 800 watts for a combined total of just under 1600 watts.
So you can see that the loads are split evenly between meter 1 and meter 2 with a double pole switch. Everything is working great and I am so thrilled. This is gonna be great as a backup system. Just to recap, when you have the home integration kit with the 2 AC300s, it creates a 240 volt system. You can run anything in your home off of 240 volts, which is why this home integration kit is perfect for backup emergency situations. You can have as little as 2 batteries for this system or up to 8 batteries for this system, giving you a total of 24,576 watt hours. Right now until December 25th, Biata is having a Christmas sale with 30% off. And when you use the code Biata AC300, you'll get a 5% discount. Click the link in my description and pinned comment below. And thank you so much to Biata for sponsoring me for over a year. Today, I'm gonna be hooking up my mains to my outdoor meter disconnect. Oh, this is hard. This wire is so hard to deal with. This stuff is actually so tricky.
Learning electrical has kind of been a bit of a love-hate relationship. Working with these really big wires has been extremely difficult and taxing, and there's so much code that's involved with electrical. But other than that, I am finding it kind of fun to learn.
It might just fit. So this goes on first, this screws in, and then this spring holds everything in place so that the wire can't slip out. Here comes the tricky part, bending this into place. Might have to take this off, to be honest.
we go. Okay.
So there's no ground lug in here. There's like a grounding plate, but it's too small. So I'm gonna install the grounding lug right there. Everything's stripped back, and now I have to put on this antioxidant joint compound. It's for all aluminum wire. Ground is going in first because it's tucked in back here. Ugh. Getting the mains hooked up to this meter disconnect is just such a huge deal because it means we're gonna have power in our home. I started this electrical journey over 1.5 years ago, bringing the electrical to our property, trenching, backfilling, and hooking up this panel. So to be able to bring it all into the house now is super exciting. But now it's time to go back to some more important things that are very weather sensitive. The roof. What's today?
Today is National Brownie Day.
Ooh, look at the pastries. Thank you. National Brownie Day.
National Brownie Day.
And roofing day. It is so hard to get your button gear in the winter. Holy crap. But today we're going to be putting up some snow stops on the roof so that the snow stops landsliding, because that's not good for your roof. It can permanently damage your roof. So I'm glad we're getting them up early. We'll see where the day takes us. Well, let's hope we don't mess up the order. Oh, I like that.
Ta-da! Noodle holder.
I'm gonna go get my hammer now. We have the first side pretty much done.
Woo-hoo, we're damned up.
And this is definitely a job that I probably could have done myself, but it's super fun having someone else with you.
Way more fun to hang out with me.
Yeah, there's some jobs that are just so freaking boring that you need a friend or a parent to come by and help you out.
Yep, and I'm both. Having the beautiful have a good time up here. Beautiful.
Oh, a beauty. A beautiful.
The only person I can talk to myself up here though is myself.
I can kind of hear you. Not gonna lie, snow stops don't look great, but if they save like my daughter from having ice fall on her head, then it's okay. Well, I really wanted to get up on the roof today, but it's just there's still snow on it. It's really tricky. I need to get the ridge caps done, but I think I'm just gonna have to wait. But the snow stops, like 90% of them are on, other than the ones where the snow are.
It's a slip and slide up there.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I should probably help him, but I mean, he wanted to do it himself, so. All cleaned up. And I think we're gonna work on the exterior insulation now.
We are. Make
Yep.
the house look shiny.
Yeah, it's gonna be really ugly.
It's like Christmas wrapping for the house, eh?
It's gonna be
Kinda like that.
so ugly until we can get siding up.
And you won't be able to look at the house because it'll like
A blind.
massive reflection.
Ah.
I don't know if it actually really wants us to do this.
Snow stops in, some insulation on,
Yep.
and steel cleaned up.
Yep. It was a beauty of a day.
Beautiful of a day.
Beautiful of a day. Yeah, I'm stretching it.
You're stretching it.
Oh, good one.
All right, thank you, Craig,
You're welcome.
and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye-bye.
We are going on our first family hike. Well, not our first family hike. We're going on a family hike to go find our Christmas tree for our house for the first time. So pretty out here. So close to falling.
Where do I begin? The last few weeks, I have just been absolutely exhausted. Since I injured my back, I've been going to chiro, and I really haven't been able to get my strength or energy levels back. And from doing this build and planning and life in between, I've just become extremely burnt out. What do you guys think?
Looks voluptuous.
My body's been giving me warning signs for months, from having a sore back to having growths on my shins to a cyst on my wrist to getting strep throat twice. I really just need to take some time and rest.
Could we have brought the chainsaw out? Yes.
Would it have made a better thumbnail photo with her in it?
Yeah. I want to wear a pretty dress though, so, because it's Christmas.
Karate chop. Mommy loves karate. Oh yeah. Hiya!
Stuff Wonder Woman.
No, she's karate chop.
Karate chop woman.
Cause it's a holly jolly Christmas.
I really wanted to be living in our home this Christmas, and
For someone who has never built a home before, I think I had pretty high expectations to want to be living in our home at this point. But you know what? We have a roof over our heads, and we can create a special tradition starting this year by having Christmas in our home for the first time. We might have to bring in some blankets and some space heaters and hot chocolate, but it'll make for a perfect morning looking over our little pond in our new home.
when you have lots of leftover rebar ties, you create your own little hooks.
So although I want to be in a home now and not live in a trailer much longer, I also realize I need to take some time off. It really scares me taking time off, wanting my channel to perform well, and wanting to be able to communicate and engage with you guys, but life is short and family is so important. So thank you so much for joining me and continually supporting me. And if you want to support my channel even more, subscribe, it's a huge help, and like and comment below. I'll still be posting on my YouTube memberships, so definitely keep updated there. Don't forget to check out Bluetti's 30% off holiday sale. It's pretty incredible. I wish you a Merry Christmas or a very happy holidays, and thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the new year.